Cricbuzz chatter early on the fourth day. New Zealand wrapped it up very, very quickly. India only added another 48, bowled out for 165 and 191. New Zealand just knocked off those remaining runs too quickly. Simon Doull is on the line with us from Wellington. Very, very hard and inconsiderate from your good friend Tim Southee, Simon, because I got a call at 4:36 in the morning saying, rush! And literally got down, got a cab, came running in. You've got to tell Tim Southee to be a little more considerate.
One thing about that 4:30 wake-up call, Harsha, is it means that there wouldn't have been too much traffic in Mumbai. It's probably one of the few times you didn't have to dodge anything.
I reached here in record time. But what was interesting with that morning session was, 65, 70 overall ball. It's still swinging. It brought up a bit of a contrast with India's bowlers who were not swinging the ball that much. Bumrah 1 for 88, Shami 1 for 91. What caused the difference between the way the two teams bowled?
Yeah, what you have to remember with the Basin Reserve and with Wellington in particular, those different winds dictate whether the ball will swing or not. Now today we've got a very light southerly wind, which is just behind my back at the moment, and beautiful sunshine, really clear blue skies. And that's the swinging wind. That was the wind from 1998 on Boxing Day too, Harsha, just quietly. It's exactly the wind that you need to swing the ball around a little bit. When it gets too cold or when the northerly blows, it just doesn't swing. So each different day dictates whether the ball will swing or whether it won't. And that was what New Zealand struck. They won the toss, they bowled first, it was nipping around, it was seaming more than swinging that day. And then today yesterday they just got the bowling conditions to their liking. So to me it's about getting the right conditions on the right day, and you need those little things in your favour. India didn't quite have them in their favour. I don't think they bowled quite as well as New Zealand, no, but it wasn't all down to just that.
Let's look back at this this test match then. And what was it, the middle order for you? The key, India just didn't get enough runs, because my view is that the middle order is often set up by the top order. India didn't get the opening partnership once again, exposed the middle order. But Pujara, Kohli and Hanuma Vihari, 21, 22, 21 runs each between them. So it really was batting, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was the batting. I don't think the bowlers did a bad job at all, and it's down to getting runs up front. I thought Mayank Agarwal did a very good job. He batted much like you have to bat in New Zealand conditions. You have to rotate the strike, you have to put the bad ball away when you get that opportunity, but you also have to be very respectful and play the ball late. And that was one of the issues, obviously, with Prithvi Shaw. We saw that with Kohli as well. Although he got bounced out in the second innings, it was the first innings shot that was disappointing for mine. Vihari, much the same. And it's that middle order is crucial, but you just need that opening combination to blunt the attack, to take a little bit of the shine away from the ball. Now, that has not happened, and that's why India have found that middle order exposed and been in a little bit of trouble in both innings.
Right, in the hot spot, New Zealand's last 3 wickets actually outscored India's bottom 5. And as I said, it's not about the tail very much, but New Zealand seemed to contribute there a lot more than India did.
Yeah, absolutely. And that starts from that Rishabh Pant way down, doesn't it? That's the same position that Colin de Grandhomme batted in. So you've got Pant and then Ashwin and then Sharma, haven't you, in those 3 sort of key areas where New Zealand relied on Jamieson and Colin de Grandhomme heavily, and then a little bit of a flourish from Trent Boult at the back end. Now, I thought Colin de Grandhomme's innings was very responsible. He's known as a power hitter. He's a bit similar to a Rishabh Pant type character. He likes to play his shots. He likes to hit the ball out of the park, but it was a very responsible innings from Colin de Grandhomme. And then in that partnership with Jamieson, it just gave the bowlers a little bit more time. And Trent Boult, I mean, we don't know how he's going to play, and I don't know how he gets runs, but he just seems to every now and then get those runs. Those were so crucial. And Virat Kohli actually mentioned that to me in the post-match. He said those runs at the back end of the New Zealand innings, so crucial.
I mean, it's very easy to look back at India, but the truth is that New Zealand actually won the test match. They won all the key moments in there. Wonderful return for Southee. Boult got enough bowling in to suggest that he's got his rhythm in. Great debut for Jamieson. Why are New Zealand so good in home conditions? Do they do it differently, or is it just like any other team in the world? You just know how to do the little things right.
Yeah, know how to play at home. They know, and winning the toss is quite a crucial thing as well. I know, you can look back at those Indian scores and say that they didn't bat well enough in both innings. They should have been a lot better in the second innings. But winning the toss in these conditions, New Zealand just know how to bowl. And I said to you, I think on day number 2, at the end of day number 2, you almost have to tell yourself as a bowler to bowl half volleys. And that's a very difficult thing to do. And it's a difficult thing to adjust to first morning of a game to almost bowl half volleys and be prepared to be driven. New Zealand are able to do that. They know the skills to do that, and they don't mind being driven. They know these conditions so well. It'll be very similar in Christchurch, but just be wary. If India do happen to win the toss and it's green, if they can get the ball full enough, they cause all sorts of troubles as well. The other thing that New Zealand can do in situations like this is be quite aggressive with the bat. And when you're under the pump and the ball's seaming around a little bit, you have to kind of almost go back at the opposition and be a bit counter-aggressive. So the innings from Pujara just basically dug India into a hole, I felt, and that didn't help their cause either.
Okay, fast forward. Let's look ahead then to Christchurch. A couple of things about Christchurch. One is, are the conditions going to be similar? The numbers seem to suggest Tim Southee, the last 3 test matches he's played there, he's been man of the match as well. And what changes do teams make? Obviously, New Zealand are going in with a very happy set of options. Does Wagner come in for Jameson, as you've been saying? Does Wagner come in for Patel, for example, and New Zealand just go in with 4 quicks? So let's look at it from New Zealand first.
They'll want a point of difference, I think, so they'll keep a Jazz Patel there just in case, and Neil Wagner will come back in for Kyle Jameson. To me, it's just around Jameson. Done a great job. You'll get a New Zealand cricket contract come the end of March. You're going to go on the winter tours with us. Well done. Great effort, but Neil Wagner comes straight back in for him. That'll be the only change I make. If Tom Blundell is fit, he'll remain at the top of the order. We don't know too much about the shoulder. Kane Williamson wasn't giving a lot away at the post-match presentation either on that. So I'm guessing that Blundell will stay, and other than Wagner coming back in, that'll be the only change I make from a New Zealand point of view.
Yeah, and I'm looking at it from India's point of view. For example, Bumrah, Shami, Ishant, world-class bowlers. So you're not reacting too much to them straight away. Pujara scored a lot of runs in Australia. Virat Kohli's champion player. Rahane got some runs. Pant was picked for his batting as much, well, a little more than for his keeping, and he didn't do too much wrong. So really you're looking at someone like a Prithvi Shaw, but he's only played 2 innings, and someone like an Ashwin who got 3 wickets. So it's a peculiar situation where you've been outplayed, but there's not a lot more you can do.
Yeah, not a lot. I mean, a couple of left-handers in that New Zealand top 5 when you look at Nicholls and Latham. Do you stick with Ravi Ashwin? Do you bring Jadeja in? Is he in better form with the bat at the moment? He certainly adds a bit to the fielding. We saw that when he came on as a substitute fielder. That might be a possible change with the right-handers in the side and maybe just the tight lines. In New Zealand, quite often you don't necessarily need an attacking, wicket-taking spinner. You need a spinner who can bowl a lot of overs and keep one end very tight. And when India don't have that seam bowling all-rounder, then maybe a really tight Ravi Jadeja might be a better option for India in that second test match in Christchurch. I still think that you need a very good technique to open the batting in test match cricket. I'm not sure Prithvi Shaw has that down pat yet. It probably is too harsh to drop him, though, and bring a Shubman Gill in, because he's just as likely to fail in green seaming conditions. So that's a conundrum for India at the top of the order. Do they say, we're going to give another youngster a chance, a shot, and see what he can do, or do we stick with the same? But I wouldn't mind seeing that change. A holding, very, very containing, but brilliant Ravi Jadeja in for Ashwin, and just give him an opportunity.
Okay, we'll wait and see what happens in Christchurch. The good thing with the World Test Championship, of course, is that there are points up for grabs, so there won't be a flat, sleepy deck in there. It's a slightly sleepy me and a slightly upbeat Simon Doull on Cricbuzz Chatter. We'll see you from Christchurch, Simon.
Cheers, guys. You go back to bed, eh?
I will. It's so early, there won't be traffic going back home either.
Thanks, Harsh.